and welcome back to my channel. I know I've been doing a flurry of videos lately. It just, I don't know, I had some things on my mind. But I just wanted to do a sort of standalone video today, specifically about my feelings on the neurodiversity movement. Now, some of you who have seen some of my previous videos will know my views about the neurodiversity movement. To put it, and I don't want to offend anyone because I'm aware that some of my viewers might be advocates in the neurodiversity movement or like the neurodiversity movement, and that's absolutely fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm not having a go at them. You're absolutely entitled to your opinion. I'm sure we get on just fine. You know, it's like politics, isn't it, at the end of the day? You know, it's divisive, but that doesn't mean I don't like individual players who, you know, happen to have divergent views on that topic, if you see what I mean, because, you know, there are other things about them that I might like and we might still get along. See what I'm saying? So basically, don't take what I'm saying personally. This is just my views as an autistic person about the neurodiversity movement. Okay, I'm not being tribal or anything. I can't stand tribalism. I'm just expressing my views about the neurodiversity movement. So you might disagree with everything I'm saying, and that's absolutely fine. You don't have to agree with what I'm saying. And I'm not intending to offend anyone, okay? This is just my views about the movement. Okay, that cleared up. I just want to be perfectly blunt, okay? Because it's easier that way. So let's just get it out straight away. I hate, with a capital H-A-T-E, I hate the neurodiversity movement. The movement, not the players in the movement. I know some people in the movement who are very nice individually, but I hate the movement, okay? Now, why do I hate the movement, you might be asking? As I say, those who've seen my earlier videos may know the answer already, but I just need to rant today. I hate the movement because I feel it is dominated, on the whole, there are some exceptions, but on the whole, it is dominated by very, very able autistic people who are often very successful. So, for example, they often, I don't know, have jobs, sometimes quite well-paid jobs. They often not always, but they often have families, you know, so they might have a partner, they might be married, they might have kids, and also often tend to be quite successful in terms of their integration into society. So they often have quite senior positions, and like within the advocacy movement, they're often very vocal, and they often have quite high up positions within that movement. And as someone with a type of autism that is actually very disabling, I can find this very alienating and bad for my mental health, basically. I accept that I'm autistic. I've got nothing wrong. What I'm saying is, I accept my autism. I have to, because after all, it's what I have. I'm going to have it to the moment I die. You know, it would be, you know, not to accept autism, you'll be on a futile quest, because it's something you have, it's something you're always going to have, and everyone has their own personal kind of relationship with their autism. Some people love their autism. I can't relate to that because I don't love my autism, but each to their own. You know, I can't tell that person that they're wrong because it's their autism. It's up to them how they see their autism. Some people hate their autism, and again, that's their right, it's their autism. Other people are neutral, don't love it, don't hate it. I guess I'm in a neutral camp. I do have moments where I hate my autism, because autism can be a right old bitch, and basically can stop me doing what I want to do, and I do feel resentful sometimes when I see the majority of society able to relate and able to have that form of human, let's say, experience that will be forever denied to me, because we're often told that being able to socialise, being able to understand other people, being able to empathise, I know that's a highly problematic term, and obviously there's a lot of controversy in the autism movement, and some people will say that it's wrong to say autistics can't empathise. Again, autism does represent many different experiences. I'm not saying I can't empathise per se. I do feel hurt when I see other people in pain and suffering. I don't like seeing suffering, whatever it may be. So, I do care, and you could call that a basic level of empathy. But what I mean by empathy is the kind of like a broader type of empathy. I do really struggle with theory of mind. I've learned some of it intellectually, but I've learned enough of it to be able to camouflage, let's say. I do have a small understanding of it, but I do really struggle with it to the extent that I do really find it hard to read other people. I can't read body language for my life. Like when I'm talking to someone, I'm literally getting no information from them in terms of their feelings, in terms of their body language, because I can't read body language. I've got no idea what's going on for them. And even if I did have some inkling, I couldn't relate to it because I don't have that kind of shared wavelength. I can't enter their world. I'm very egocentric. I guess you could say that my emotional level is that of a young child in that respect, because I'm at a similar level in terms of the development of theory of mind. Like I have a basic level, like maybe like a 5 or 6 year old child might have a basic level, but I don't have a fully fledged theory of mind that like typical adults have. And that sucks, and that can sometimes make me come across as like I don't care. It's not that I don't care, it's just that obviously if I can't enter into someone else's mental state, it's very difficult for me to know how to help them, and I don't have the motivation necessarily to actually respond in the way that society says you should. So I can come across as quite emotionally numb when I should be emotionally expressive, if that makes sense. I find emotions very difficult. So yeah, I do sometimes feel bad, but I feel I'm missing out. I feel that I'm missing out on part of what it is to be human, let's say, something I'm never going to have because of the way my brain was born. It's not my fault, I didn't choose this, it's just the way my brain is. But it can make me feel, annoyed. I don't have that ability because I see other people and I feel I'm never going to have that part of what it is to be human because, and that sucks sometimes. So sometimes I do hate my autism, but generally speaking, I don't hate it. I just accept it because it's what I have, Most of the time, I just get on with life, I'm neutral about it, But sometimes I do hate it when my life gets particularly frustrating. But what I'm saying is that some autistics really do hate their autism all the time. Like I say, they're awesome, that's how they feel about it, it's how they feel about it. Just like some people love their autism, I don't understand it, but everyone's different. But yes, but the neurodiversity movement really pisses me off. As I've already said, I do tend to be dominated by very able autistics, and I sort of went out. I'm probably not making a lot of sense because I'm sort of going around in a little bit of a circle, and I'm not sure I'm really making sense in the sense I'm not necessarily linking ideas up together. I haven't written any notes, But I made a point that it tends to be dominated by very able autistics, and what I wanted to say about that was that these very able autistics then create a narrative about autism that tends to emphasise the positives, and they tend to say that autism is a difference as opposed to a disability, they focus in on the difference as opposed to it being a disability. Some of them will admit that it is a disability as well, but the point being is that they emphasise the difference and they make it into something that's like really positive. And not only that, but lately they've started to elide other conditions that have nothing to do with autism. For example, and I've noticed this on Twitter and other places, they elide other neurodevelopmental conditions, for example, specific learning difficulties such as dyslexia, but also other conditions like ADHD and basically the whole gamut of neurological conditions. Even some mental conditions now. I'm not sure if OCD is added, it might be. Basically under the umbrella neurodiversity, with the emphasis on diversity. Now this really pisses me off, and they call it the neurodiversity spectrum. I don't particularly like the idea of spectrum either, but we'll ignore that. The problem I have, like I say, is that comparing these other conditions, putting them on the same spectrum, putting autism under the same sort of spectrum, if you like, of these other conditions, is like comparing chalk and cheese, really. These other conditions have got nothing to do with the severity of autism. I'm not saying they can't be severe in their own right. If someone's dyslexic, for example, or really struggles to read and write, and maybe is functionally illiterate, that can be really severe and disabling. Obviously that's that would be pretty severe in that case, if you're functionally illiterate, and then for you, that would be really disabling. But even if you're not functionally illiterate and you have something like dyslexia, I'm not denying that can be really bad and really and can really disrupt your life. I'm not denying that they have their own problems. What I am saying is that it's completely different to autism. It's a mile away from autism. Yes, there could be some overlaps in certain symptoms that might have maybe some genetic overlap in the brain potentially, and it's known that autistic people tend to have a higher rate of some of these specific learning difficulties. Personally, I don't have dyslexia, but I do have dyscalculia, which is a lot less known than dyslexia, and pretty much doesn't get nearly half a line like a dyslexia gets. Dyscalculia is pretty much forgotten. Makes me wonder why, maybe because it's not fashionable or something, I don't know. But anyway, it just really annoys me that these conditions that are so different can get lumped in together with autism and called a neurodiverse spectrum. It pisses me off because I sort of feel it's trivialising autism and making it out like it's all part of the same group of conditions when it's completely different. Autism affects someone's whole life on a social level, on a human level, in a way that something like dyslexia doesn't. That's not to say dyslexia can't be severe and inhibiting and really disabling, but it is to say that, it's not the same kettle of fish as autism, to put it mildly. Okay, so I'm going to move on to video number 2 now to carry on talking about it. So moving on to video number 2.